Well, here we are at the start of another week. It's Monday afternoon, late in the afternoon, in fact. The new battery for the two-stroke Renegade, this one, turned up this morning. It's been on charge all day, or since about 10 o'clock this morning anyway. It's an Odyssey battery that I'm using. They're really quite heavy, but that's okay. I need heavy. This very light engine and a fair way forward. This goes forward of the firewall. And yeah, the battery charger is saying that it's full to the brim. So I'll throw that in, and the aeroplane's going extremely well. I've just been adjusting the brakes, and they're actually starting to work. The brakes actually, I think, have never actually been used. They, I got a new set of brakes, and I was going to throw those in. And hang on, I measured the old ones. The old ones have really got more life left in them than the brand new ones. So, okay, I guess we've all been trained that you don't touch the brakes no matter what, and maybe I should have been touching the brakes. It's as simple as that. So there you go. That's where I'm at. I've had a couple of really good flights in Rosie's aeroplane. It's performing better and better and better every time I use it. It's better than the previous. So yeah, we'll be into that this week too, as soon as the weather clears up. The weather's been pretty ordinary yesterday and today, very ordinary in fact, but it looks like there's a break in it now and it's starting to clear up. But anyway, that's what I'm up to today. So the paperwork. Yes, the paperwork now does weigh more than the aeroplane, so it must be ready to present the paperwork. And as far as I'm concerned, the paperwork split into two different sort of divisions, if you like. One is for the certification sort of side of it, that you've crossed all the I's and dotted all the T's, or the other way round. In my case, the other aspect of the paperwork is maintenance related. It's and they are two very distinct things. So what I'm applying for now is the actual the certification part of it, not the maintenance part. So it's a distinction. It is a distinction. You can get one without the other, put it that way. You don't have to have the aeroplane ready to fly, although it is, but you don't actually have to have it ready to fly when you're getting the paperwork in order. So I think tonight I'll continue on and submit that paperwork. There's only a couple of forms basically telling the Civil Aviation department that I'm ready to go, and it's getting closer. It's getting closer, and hopefully the weather's going to cooperate as well. Not the last couple of days, but hopefully we're good now. Well, here we are at the end of another fantastic week. Let's go through the aeroplanes for starters. There's not been a lot of progress on the radial Renegade. It's still in exactly the same condition as it was last week and probably the week before. I was almost finished doing the paperwork, in fact. The aeroplane itself is ready to fly, there's no question. But doing the paperwork, I came across the need for a flight manual or for a pilot operating notes. And basically, if everything you need to know is displayed appropriately for the pilot, basically, then you don't require a flight manual or pilot handling notes. And one of the reasons I went with the Rotec instruments is that they have their arcs with the green arc and the red and the yellow and all of them, even the manifold pressure. That's a bit of an odd one, but anyway, it is what it is on a normally aspirated engine. The tacho has a yellow arc here, the rest is green, overspeed here with red. So what I was going to do is get another nice little neat placard about the same physical dimensions as that the one there for the passenger warning, and maybe put it here or something, whatever, if it'd fit there, and give the actual weights. And one of the very early questions is, what's the basic empty weight? Oh, and the basic empty weight was in fact wrong. Oh, problema. So my weight and balance person redid the figures for me, and we didn't redo the weight and balance. The weight and balance was those figures were correct, and he reworked it, and there was a slight error. So we fixed the error. Now I can make that placard. I'll just work out what it needs to say and the dimensions, and I'll take it to the sign maker, and he'll make me a new sign. At a fee, of course. So that I've stalled on that for the time being. It won't take me long to fix it up, but for right now it's not going to fly. The RV. This is a bit more of an issue. The voltage regulator has pegged out on the RV. It's snuffed it and passed away. So the area I located the voltage regulator in is not all that accessible once the aeroplane's all complete, not without pulling it half to pieces again. So what I've done is I've got another voltage regulator, a new one, and I will install that this afternoon and rewire it, and just leave the existing one in situ, as simple as that. So that was a bit of an issue. It went a bit stupid and was charging like crazy, and then it wouldn't charge, and then it had realised that it hadn't been charging and charged like crazy again. And before the battery fell to pieces, I thought, no, we'll take the aeroplane down and put a new voltage regulator. So that's the RV. The other two aeroplanes haven't moved because the weather's been pretty ordinary. Not only cold, but miserable as well. So, and windy. The two-stroke Renegade, I'm really not all that happy about taking it out in the wind. It's just got no wing loading, and the chances of going around a corner a bit fast or something and tipping it over would be really good on the ground. Without get it in the air and it's going to flap around like all over the place in a strong wind and turbulence, and that's not going to be fun. But ground handling is what worries me the most. So I wasn't prepared to take it out. Rosie's would behave better. And of course, Rosie's at the back of the hangar, so I've got to take mine out in the wind and everything else to get hers out. It's just not worth it. Just not worth it. Maybe this afternoon. Today is looking okay. It's a bit overcast. Yeah, but that's high level overcast. The wind was pretty strong, but it seems to have still gusty a little bit, but it's not super duper strong. So maybe this afternoon I can get a fly, especially of Rosie's aeroplane. So that's where we stand. That's the catch up. Uh, the RV's sort of taken priority over everything. We've decided to do a little trip, and the little trip takes us basically to the opposite side of the country. So the aeroplane's got to be right. I'll probably wind up giving it an oil change before we leave. I don't know how much. It's probably got 15 hours, I guess, on this on the oil that's in it at the moment. I'll have a look. I'll count it up. If it's 15 or less, then I'll probably go with what I've got. If it's got more hours than that, which I don't think it has, then I'll give it an oil change before we go. But yeah, it's a fairly big trip. It'll be probably around 2,000 nautical miles each way, so, or 3,000 total, I think, something like that, which is whatever, 5,000 miles, 6,000 kilometres, something like that. A long way. And the aeroplane has to be right to do that. So that's my focus at the moment, is to get the aeroplane ready. We're probably not going to go. We won't leave for about a month, in about a month's time. The weather will be definitely better then. If we leave it any longer than that, my wife's not a flyer at all. No. You press the button and you get a drink. You know, that's her sort of flying. Not sit in an RV in the stinking heat and get bounced around all over the place, because most of it's desert. Where we're going to be going is pretty much desert. So I don't want to leave it until October, November and try and do the trip and have to put her on a train or something to get her back here, or turn around and abandon the trip. So we're not going to do that. We're going to give her the best opportunity we can. If this is the east out this direction, if you want to go to the coast, it's probably, I don't know, 150, 180 nautical miles that way, something like that. But where we're going is that direction, and nearly 2,000 nautical miles that way. We'll be stopping at a few different places along the way, and not to give her too big a days. I can actually make the other side of the country in about a day and a half in the RV. There's no way in this wide world my wife's going to be able to cope with that. So we're going to stop. We're going to have short days and early finishes for the day, and stop a couple of times on the way across. So yeah, so that's where we are. So now you know the rules. Try and get your feet off the ground if you can this weekend. I think it's Sunday here is going to be absolutely magnificent. There'll be sunshine, none of this overcast rubbish, no fear of rain, and should be pretty good here in tomorrow. Hopefully where you are it's still good, and try and get your feet off the ground. That's it. Sorry about the boring sort of update, and nothing to do with aeroplanes today. But yeah, there you go. I'll try and face this way so you can see me at least. Catch up with you next week. Bye now. Here's the initial flight plan. This is Temora here. Sydney's over here somewhere. The initial flight will be up here to Broken Hill, which is right on the edge of the state. From Broken Hill across to Port Augusta, which is halfway across South Australia. Then to Ceduna. And then over here to Forest. Forest might not be in the middle of nowhere, but you can certainly see the middle of nowhere from Forest. Then across to Kalgoorlie, which is a major mining town as well. Broken Hill was a major mining town also. And then down to the coast here, this is the Indian Ocean out this side. Pacific Ocean's out the other side on Sydney side. Down here to Busselton, then up to Perth, and then back to Kalgoorlie and back the same way as we came. But that's the initial look at what the trip's going to be all about. Okay, hopefully more will become obvious as time wears on. But it's about a month's time we should be doing the trip.